Hello all. Well, I had girls' night last night. Very fun. But not one person ate the chips. I made sure I got gluten-free. Not one person ate the salsa, the hummus. I didn't open it. Thank God. I'm returning it, getting my money back. It's like almost $40 worth of food. So, also, I have soda that probably will never be drank. Unsweetened iced tea, well, yeah, I'll probably drink that, but not the thing. I was very tired. I got stuck with all the boxes. So now I have to, I'm saying my hallway is lined in boxes and they're even stacked because the whole we play this game and I'm trying to make sure no one is behind me. We're gonna pull in. This is a very tricky parking lot. And so they you buy 4 items in the dollar store, which we used to do 5, but it's $1.25. And I might have explained this, so sorry if I did already. Then you buy 1 in Five Below. Or you could do, someone did a $5 Dunkin' gift card. My cousin, I got $1 because my cousin put $1 in a box, in this big box. So it's to, disguise it so you don't know what it is. And some of the best things could come in the small boxes, or some good things could come in big boxes. My gifts were Spam, which my sister got. I wanted my other sister to get it because I think she would have. One was a pillow cover that on one side it says tonight's, get ready for tonight or whatever, and the other one's not tonight. So I thought that was cute. My niece's mother-in-law, who her husband passed away and she has no interest in dating ever again, she got it, so she gave it to my niece. One was this head massager. It's really long. One is a scalp massager. The one that did not come, that I was very upset over, was thanks for the orgasms keychain. So it was a little keychain. So that did not come. So I was upset. But I told everybody. Everybody's afraid of my gifts because you never know what you're getting. Dolly Parton cake mix, which it was Duncan Hines, so it's a real cake mix, but it was $1.01. $1, 1 penny on Amazon, and I have Amazon Prime, so I'm sorry. Why do I yawn when I'm talking to you guys? Yes. So, what else did I? Oh, these things that you put in the bottom of your cup holder that are they were rhinestoney, pinky purple, more purple than pink. I don't know. Well, purple, pink. I don't know. It's kind of a toss between those two colors that it was. So that it was really fun. All the pizza except 2 pieces went, and the cauliflower pizza, which I got 2 of them, 3 slices were left, and it's really a personal size, so I really could have got away with 1 because he said it feeds 2, and then someone, because it was my sister and my cousin, and someone ate 3 slices. So it was a decent size. It was 10 inches round. So guess who's eating that when I go home? Me. And then what else? Oh, I had vegetables. Those were a hit. My sister-in-law brought fruit. That was a hit. My sister bought this chocolate cream pie thing, which, I don't know, it's some new pie that Costco has. And that was a hit. I had a piece. Shouldn't have. And I'm trying to think what else. I don't know what else. Mostly people bought water or bought their own coffee with them in a cup. And I really shouldn't have went to Dunkin' and got a couple of cups of coffee. But it is what it is. And the pizza, for 2 pizzas, regular pizzas, and 2 cauliflower pizzas, which again, only 10-inch round, $68. I was like, whoa. I'm like, 2, 4, 6. I'm like, yeah, I guess a pizza's almost $20. So it's like, oh, sorry, I'm yawning. I am tired. By the time I cleaned up, took the table down, because I had one of those tables that fold, and really long one. There was 13 to start out, and then when my nieces came, 15 of us. So, but it was fun. We had a fun night. My cousin didn't name that tune in the beginning while we're eating our pizza, so that was good. And I have a little more makeup than normal on today. I don't know if I'm liking it. I'm not really big on makeup, but I'm going to meet my brother and his friends, along with my siblings, at Asbury Park. So, I'm so sorry that I am yawning. I actually was falling asleep in the chair while she was giving me my pedicure. Yes, I was. So, but the subject I want to talk about is, was one of my blog posts, but it's how sometimes in life that we need to accept things are the way they are and just move on. And as difficult as that may be, sometimes we do. Whether it's, I'll use my aunt and uncle for an example. After 37 years of marriage, he one Saturday just said, I'm done, I'm out of here, and left my aunt. And I don't think she'll ever get over it. I think she's moved on, because him and his new wife, who's very young, and he had another child with her. So, he's had this child very close to his 70s, but that seems to be the thing these days. And I personally, even if I could have a kid at this point in my life, I would not. God forbid anything happened to, where I had to take my granddaughter. In a heartbeat, I would step up and take her. But, oh, sorry. But, yeah, I would not purposely plan to have a child at this stage of my life. And I'm like 10 years younger than when he decided to have his 4th child with his 2nd wife. But a lot of people decide that. So I feel like your hurt will get less and less each day as it passes. And I'm not saying I'm not talking about a loved one that passes away. I'm talking about when a relationship ends, or even a friendship, or that person that you wish there was more than friends, but it's not. And I had a friend that we met on a dating site, and then after a couple of dates, I'm like, oh, he's like, his divorce was messy, and it just wasn't. And he hadn't quit smoking, like he said. Well, he said no smoking. And then when I questioned him about smoking, oh, so sorry. He, said, no, I quit, whatever. But then he reached out to me on Facebook, and because I blocked him on everything, and he wanted to apologize. And then we started talking, and we became friends, and he was over my house. But when my mom died, he made it all about him. So I was like, no, dude, this isn't. So as hard as it was, because he would make me laugh, he came over my house, would hang out, which was nice, when I had nothing to do, the kids weren't around, whatever. His kids would come over, and I just, then he reached out to me, and again, he said, I miss our friendship, and, I've hesitated many times reaching out. I was hoping you would reach out and apologize. My mother died, and you called me, and I texted you that I was at the funeral parlor making the funeral arrangements, and I'm really not in the mood to talk, and maybe later or tomorrow, but if I don't, call you, just text me and I'll let you know if I'm in the mood to talk or something like that. And didn't hear from him. Didn't find out the arrangements. Nothing. Didn't show up. Didn't show his respects. Didn't even say, sorry, your mother passed away. So I'm like, no, I can't. Like, even if he couldn't make it, he worked nights, to the wake. Like my friend, the wake happened to be on the day that was her longest day, at work, and she couldn't get someone to cover. And I was just like, I totally understand. You've been there for me, through this whole thing of my mom. And so I just couldn't. So as much as it was hard for me to move on, I'm like, no, I need to move on from you. Because a lot of people had said, oh, it's all about him. It's all about him. And he was going through a tough time. So I felt like I was helping him, but yeah, no. So, and, I feel it gets less in time. And even though we'll never forget that person, or we'll never forget the hurt, or maybe it just, like, you wanted different things and you understood that and they ended it, but it still hurt because you're wishing that person wanted what you wanted and they don't. So that, to me, and sometimes we don't get to choose. Sometimes we don't even get an explanation why things end. Like, someone is just done with you, and maybe, there was a guy that I went out, we went out 5 times, and then bam, done, gone. No explanation. And no, were we involved? No. But you start to, get hopeful, especially after 5 dates, and you're they text you every morning, good morning, have a great day, or how was your day? You talk on the phone, and then you just don't hear from them, and no explanation. And I used to text and say, hey, I hope everything's okay. No, won't do that. And especially in the rules, it says that if they really wanted to, they would reach out. So for whatever reason, they've decided they don't want to pursue this any further after 5 dates. Okay, I have to accept that. I now learned I have to accept this. even after one date, if they, oh, I had a great time, oh, we'll have to do it again, and then you don't hear from them. Just, even a friend. I mean, there's friends that, slowly drift away, and then, if you run into them, oh, how you doing? I'm so sorry, I've been busy, I got this, and this. And people's lives do get busy and crazy. I get that. No one is too busy to send a 2-second text. And I have been guilty of this on occasions, but I'm trying to reach out more, especially like my nieces that, well, she lives in Pennsylvania, but she'll be moving back to Florida. My nieces that live in Florida, I'm trying to reach out more and say, hey, and my one nephew's in Florida, and I'm trying to reach out to him and be like, hey, what's going on? How's things going? So I'm really trying more, because I was a little guilty of that, because life gets busy, but I've put reminders in my phone, like, and then it goes off, alert me at the time of the event, and this way I do. So I'm trying to not be that person, but there isn't, like, if I'm interested in a guy and I won't just ignore him, and if I'm not interested, I'll say so. So that's a little annoying, but sometimes we don't get to choose. So we don't get an explanation, and we just have to let it go and chalk it up to their loss. So, and you can't say you wasted your time or your years. As with someone for years, you probably have happy memories. And I tell people, I don't regret my marriage, because I wouldn't have my children. I wouldn't have my granddaughter. There was some in the beginning, and with my kids, some happy memories. I have my in-laws who are the best. My mother and father-in-law, who've passed on, were amazing. I could call them and say, hey, and they lived like a half hour away. And I'd say, hey, you think, can you babysit? When? As soon as you can get here. So, and drop everything, and they didn't have well, they did after a while, but I tend to call them on the home phone, because if they're out and about, I would call and say, hey, what are you doing? And, oh, we're heading to the food store, do our food shop. Oh, okay. Then I wouldn't ask them, well, oh, what's nothing, just seeing what's going on, because I didn't want to, because I know they would put their food shopping off, or put off this or that, or whatever they were going to do. So, I have happy memories, and even friendship. Like I said, that friend, he made me laugh. We had some great times. Him and I tried to do a podcast, and we weren't really sure, and we didn't have the money to invest in doing it properly. But I listen to them sometimes, and we did a podcast, like a voice podcast, so not a video podcast. I think if we could do like one of these, oh my God, hysterical. Him and I were like, my friend listened, she's like, oh my God, you two are hysterical. So, but, so I have those happy memories. And so you have to remember the good times, the happy times, or something you learned from it, and something you took away from it. And remember, actions speak volumes, and so does silence. When someone is silent, like, keep using this friend who, like, his silence for all, like, didn't come, ask about my mom, didn't come to anything, I didn't hear from him. His silence spoke volumes to me, and other people too. And that's what you have to think of if you meet a guy or whatever, or a girl, and they're silent. That speaks volumes. That means you're not a priority. You're not, unless they're, oh my God, my mother was just diagnosed with cancer, or my father was diagnosed with cancer, or God forbid, one of your children, or found out my child was experimenting with recreational drugs and just different things like that. Well, then they're dealing with a lot. I still feel like, hey, got some personal stuff going on. I'll reach out if and when I can. I've had someone do that, and but some people don't think of that. You're not their priority right now. That person that they're dealing with whatever they're dealing with, that's their priority. So, and sometimes we have to look at people walking away from our lives as a blessing, because maybe it wasn't the best or healthiest relationship. And I can say that about my marriage. Him walking away was a blessing, because I was just like, I'm a much happier person and healthier person. Even though I'm not the healthiest, I am a much healthier person. I would just eat my sorrows away. There was a time I was going to the gym and I was looking good. I was losing weight. And then occasionally I, indulge in a snack. And he's like, oh, you go to the gym? You just went to the gym and just ate a healthy dinner, and now you're going to eat that? What's the point? He was verbally abusive in that respect. So, meanwhile, he's at McDonald's instead of eating the healthy dinner. So, I just wouldn't eat vegetables, wouldn't eat salad. Thank God both my kids are vegetable eaters, and, my daughter loves salad, my son, no. So, yeah. So, that it was a blessing, because if I would have stayed in there, I would have so many health issues, I'm sure, right now. I had health issues in our marriage, and I had tumors removed, many. One from my breast, one from my uterus, one from each ovary. And since our marriage ended, no tumors. And I wonder if the stress, the depression, the unhappiness, I wonder if that, they said, stress can do a lot to your body. And I stressed about everything because I was just so unhappy. So I wonder. So, what if he wouldn't have left me until my kids were, out of college, and, or out of the house, and it was just the two of us. And I know people that's happened to. So it's a blessing he left sooner than later. And I tried to leave once, and then he made me feel guilty. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like you have to look at the positive side of that situation. Positive is my children, my grandchild. I learned so much through the process of my divorce, and I know it still doesn't take away the hurt that you felt at the time. And maybe even now, sometimes I'm like, oh, this or that, you know. But sometimes you feel too that you lost not only your lover, but your best friend. That was the case in my marriage. But it was the case with Frank. And even though he died, I learned from him. I learned somebody that really loves someone, how they treat someone. And sorry, I'm taking my lipstick out that my granddaughter put all over her face. My son will probably yell at. And so each day, you know, even when you're going through a real bad time, a breakup or whatever, each day you need to get up and try something new. Like I said in the last video, that I tried something new, and do something you never wanted to. Call an old friend that you lost touch with, and or take a, like I said, take a class, join a group. That's what I said. When you're going through something tough, that it's hard to, that you know you need to move on, maybe that's the best way to move on, by finding new people. Like maybe you had the same circle of friends, so it's hard because they feel awkward because, you know. And I did have some friends that I met through my ex, and guess what? They're my friends now. He didn't keep in touch with them. And if he would have, I would have backed off. There are some friends of his that were his friends, and we were acquaintances. I wouldn't say we were friends. I was an acquaintance through him being friends with them. And they're still friends with him, so as far as I know. So you'll make new friends. Keep yourself busy when you're going through something that you weren't expecting, or that, you know, a breakup, a divorce, even loss of a loved one. It's hard when my mom was sick for 5 months, and so my world was, you know, when she was further away from my job, you know, go there after work, you know, and then come home and eat something. And then I got to a point where I was going there at lunch, because she was in the same town, and going there at lunch and going there, getting, you know, so my lunch was drive-through, my dinner was drive-through, and I would eat it quick because I didn't want her to ask for it until the end. Then I didn't give a shit, you know. I mean, when it was very close to, I still had hope, you know. I don't want to give her this because she could get better, which in reality I knew wasn't happening, but, you know. So this is another analogy. Sometimes we strike out. Sometimes life throws us a curveball. But there's times we knock it out of the park. And the important thing is to keep swinging. Keep swinging at those balls, which to me, I'm going to keep swinging and try to find that guy that is a gentleman, is for me, fits into my world, and I fit into his world. And that's hard to do at this stage of our lives, and especially me. I mean, I have a grandson on the way. I have my granddaughter every other Saturday morning. So you have to, you know, the thing, you know, keep swinging, because if you just stand there and wait for that perfect pitch, you'll never hit the ball and you'll never score a run. So stand there. and don't stand there and don't wait for the perfect pitch. Like, don't wait for the perfect person, the perfect opportunity. Go out there and make this happen for you. And you may only get first base the first time, and I'm not talking sexually. You might the next time get to second base when you swing at that ball. The next time you might get to third base, and you might get to actual third base. And then eventually you get home and you score a run, and it feels so great. So think of this like you're trying to lose weight. So they always say set small goals, which is true. So you might get to that 10 pounds first time trying. You might fall back a little, gain 2 or 3 pounds. But then the next time you're at 20 pounds, you fall back a little. You gain 5 pounds this time. Then the next time you're at 30 pounds. And then you might slide back a little bit. And then you go and you hit the 50-pound mark. And then, wow, next time, you know what to do when you're up at bat. You know what to do. That you mastered now how to lose weight. What's working for you? Exercise-wise, food-wise. You know what you can eat, what you shouldn't indulge on. Maybe you should limit yourself to a certain food that, oh my God, is just going to send you over the edge, and you're just going to want more and more and more. So just take one base at a time, one day at a time. You can think of it that way. One base at a time, one day at a time. Keep scoring. Run by one. You'll eventually be the one. Well, not the one, but you'll eventually win. And when I say win, you'll get to a point where you want to be. So that's what I mean by win. And every strikeout, every fly out, every time the ball beats you to the base, just means you need to adjust. You adjust your plan. So every time you get on that scale that you've gained a couple pounds or even a pound, what did I do this week? And then when you get, say second base, or you lose 5 pounds, look back on what you did that week. Now you know what works. So, and I don't say repeat everything, maybe the exercise, but food, I feel like you got to change it up. I mean, they say, I know someone that ate the same thing, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can't do that. It worked for them because they're like, look at a dog. You give them a portion, it's portion controlled. You give it to them and they eat the same thing every day, same time every day, and boring, in my opinion. It's not living life. I mean, I change it up for my dog. So we need to change it up. So, like a batter changes his swing, It will feel so great when you finally get to the home plate, when you round those bases, when you hit 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. It'll be nice when, oh my God, I just did you start out with a mile on the treadmill, 2 miles, 3 miles, 4 miles, 5 miles, or walking, outdoors. When you hit that 5 mile mark, you're like, yeah. you get 10,000 steps, your watch goes off, or whatever you wear, or even if you wear nothing, you just know. You wear a pedometer. Well, I used to have a pedometer. So we need to learn to take one day at a time, one step at a time. We want instant gratification. And like I said, when we're throwing a curveball, when someone, ends things, someone doesn't call us back when you think you had a great date, a friend just is like, avoiding you, it seems. Sorry, I'm busy, I'll get back. And less and less you hear from that friend. No matter what it is, you gotta keep going. You really do. You gotta keep it going. And it's just, I don't know, it's really like, this dog goes nuts every time. My daughter has a miniature Australian Shepherd, and this, I don't know if this is a border collie or a regular size Australian Shepherd. And there's kids on scooters, and this dog is going batso. But the first thing I'm going to do is, as they say, put your money where your mouth is. I'm going to get my dog, and we're going to take a nice long walk. First, hit the potty, because, that's, what I got to do first. So, things are difficult sometimes. Sometimes it's out of our control, things ending. Sometimes we don't even know why. So just remember, keep swinging. Keep trying. Doesn't matter if you strike out. Oh my God, this dog is nuts. Cars, people. They need to get some training for that dog. Holy guacamole. But yeah, so we really need to, as much as it hurts, as much as we gotta do what's good for us, and sitting around drowning our sorrows in, whether it be alcohol, food, real, like food, like meals, like eating a whole pie, eating a whole cake. That's not, that doesn't affect the other person. It affects us, ourselves. So maybe the first night, wallow, as Gilmore Girls. She didn't want to wallow, and then she's like, I want to wallow. She called all kinds of food, whatever. Maybe the first night. But like I did last night, all the junk went home. And my aunt's like, oh, you're going to have, she knew I was having my granddaughter. Oh, dude, my sister's like, oh, take some cookies, take some bread. They went. I have fruit and I have vegetables left. Fresh vegetables, So that's what I have left. And I have cauliflower pizza. I even gave the real pizza to my sister. I'm like, Brandon will eat this. Because, I just felt she would eat it. That beer in there, I won't eat it. We didn't even crack a wine bottle. It's crazy, crazy, crazy. So, when I have my friends over in March, I'll have some alcohol for them. But I'm just really, really just want to stress that we can use just about every analogy there is. Like, this is baseball. And, football. I'm sure I can, if I think long and hard enough, and can write something about hockey or even ballet, like as a dancer. Your goal is to get those point shoes, and that was my daughter's goal, and she did get it. So, but she had to practice hard. She had to work at it. So, I mean, I could go on and on and on. So, I don't know who everybody's rooting for tomorrow for the Super Bowl, but I'll probably do a video on that. Tonight, going to meet my brother. Tomorrow morning, brunch with the family. So that should be fun. And, yeah. So, I think that'll be good. I really do. So, keep going. Work on you. And if someone comes over and, oh, I thought I have this, whatever, try to tell people ahead of time. Like I told people, I'm trying to go plant-based, so I'm probably going to get gluten stuff, and said I'm not getting regular iced tea. I'm going to get unsweetened iced tea because I don't drink this sweetened iced tea, but I have sweetener. So I shouldn't have all that caffeine, but I'd like to put the unsweetened iced tea. Wish they had unsweetened decaf, but they don't. I can make my own, and I really need to. I have a Sun Tea jar, and as you hear, I'm getting a cold. I think this weather, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. Plus my throat is getting sore, so I'm gonna head inside, go get my dog. Probably a nice long hour walk at least, then go to Costco, return that crap, and get my money back. Because spent money last night, spending money tonight, spending money on my pedicure and my granddaughter's mani-pedi, and spending money tomorrow at brunch. So yeah, it's a little tough. So money wise. But that's another thing. I've learned to speak up. Sorry, I don't have a lot of money, and I can't go to dinner this week. Next week will work for me. My finances are a little better next week. So I have a lot of stuff coming up that I need to start buying for and saving money for. So, all right. So, keep swinging. Keep swinging. You're going to get that home run. All right. And again, have a great day. Hope it's sunny where you are. Overcast here. And they're talking, it's 58. But they're talking maybe snow. I think Tuesday. Pray we don't get snow here in New Jersey, Central Jersey. So, all right. Talk to you later. Bye.